Here we go, everyone. We are here on our sixth video of the infertility series that I am doing. And again, this is the last one in the series. So if you're just catching up now, go back and watch the other 5 episodes where I talk more about infertility issues. I am Dr. Beth Westy, women's health and hormone expert. I'm also licensed in acupuncture and Chinese medicine, where I did specialized training with one of the country's top fertility experts who is now passed away. But especially in the Twin Cities, he had one of the most popular, for a very good reason, most successful fertility clinics using Eastern medicine in the Twin Cities. And so that's where I received my training from. And then I'm also a functional medicine practitioner. I'm the author of the book, The Female Fat Solution. This is on Amazon, which is going to teach you all about how to eat for your hormones in your cycle. So when I talk about cooling and warming foods, it is in this book. You can also make sure you subscribe to my podcast, The Female Health Solution. That way you can stay updated on everything, and I have a lot more info in the podcast coming out that you can listen to as well. So let's just dive right in. Let's get to it. The last one here, and this one I see not quite as common as the last video I talked about with the short luteal phase. This one is slightly less common than that, but I do see it. This is an irregular luteal phase or an irregular progesterone phase. Now again, this is tracking basal body temperature here, but the other thing we look at overall is your cycle mapping test. And you can go below this video, click the link, learn more about a Dutch test and getting a cycle mapping test. It does take longer to do the cycle mapping because you do test your hormones throughout the month, but the information is worth its weight in gold because you get to see exactly what your system is doing. Now, and I'm going to reference this in terms of the irregular luteal phase for gals that have issues with progesterone and everything. You're going to have that excess estrogen presentation, very similar to the last one that I talked about. It's a little bit different though, because it really has to do with your progesterone levels not coming up and not staying elevated. That temperature is not elevated there. I will see this very commonly with women who have already had a child. Maybe have a couple of kids. And when we talk about basal body temperature and the influence, things that can influence your basal body temperature or throw it off when you're taking it, is if you get woken up frequently at night. And if you have kiddos at home, I mean, I have 3 kids, so I get it. I really get it. You get woken up in the middle of the night, you can't help it, but that's going to throw off your basal body temperature. So maybe you're wondering, is this the right thing? Am I doing this correctly? I'm not sure, but I want to have another kiddo, that type of a thing. Cycle mapping tests shows us exactly what your system is doing without guessing. So it just goes up and down here. We want to see what's happening so we can target it specifically. We're going to want to do all the things we can to increase progesterone. Again, this would be utilizing the progesterone balance tincture, using seeds, sesame and sunflower seeds during this time, really being consistent with it. And then all of those warming foods, beef, bacon, cinnamon, ginger, hot, spicy things. Make sure you're getting a lot of dense nutrients in, dark colored vegetables, dark leafy greens, eggplants, tomatoes, things like that, beets, right? Really rich in nutrient. You want things to be cooked and heated, and you want to increase that heat internally. It's really important because miscarriage is actually really common. You know, again, this is it's a kidney yawn deficiency. Kidney yawn deficiency would be presenting this irregular luteal phase, and what happens is then the uterus is just considered to be too cold. It's too cold to maintain a pregnancy, so you want to increase that heat and physically keep your body warm. Wear socks, wear something on your head, physically keep your body warm, as well as using all these other tools, food and supplements and things to help increase that body temperature. So that's really, really important. The other thing that we want to make sure we're addressing is any thyroid issue. We want to make sure we're increasing thyroid function, and then we also want to increase renal function. A lot of swelling and edema can take place with this type of kidney yawn deficiency because things just get stagnant and cooled down too much in the body. So you want to keep that fluid moving. So for example, say you go for a walk and you're like, I went for a 30-minute walk. Why am I feeling puffy? I feel like I'm swelling. Or I sit at a computer during the day and I feel like my legs get puffy. What's going on? That's a renal issue. Kidneys, again, we want to keep that fluid moving through the system. So maybe get a little pedaling bike thing for under your desk, you know, get up more frequently, you do some yoga to relieve all that pressure that gets built up in your legs while you're sitting all day. You want to keep your fluid moving for sure. So those are some suggestions, some things to kind of target and dive into. But again, if you're like, I'm not sure if this was what's happening, the cycle mapping test, which you can learn more about below, is really, really helpful. So that's what I got for you today. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do. If you're not comfortable commenting, don't hesitate to reach out to me privately. And then if you found this helpful, please share this with somebody else who could use this message, because there's a lot of women that struggle, that don't understand why they're experiencing what they're experiencing. So have a great rest of your day, and I will see you later.